Hi, and welcome to this edition of the AQS Vendors and Deals Show. I'm your host, Tamara Haynes, the National Account Manager here at the American Quilter Society. We hope you've been taking advantage of the vendor special offers promotions on quiltweek.com, as our vendors have presented us with some amazing deals. Today we are going to be visiting with Kelsey at the Sewing Studio Fabric Superstore. We'll visit with Julie at Off the Wall Quilt, and we will see Bernadette at WonderFil Specialty Threads. Our first guest today is Kelsey from the Sewing Fabric Superstore. Hi, Kelsey. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you, Tamara?
Good. It's so exciting to be together since we can't be at the quilt shows. And
Yes, thank you for having us.
absolutely. So tell us about the deal you have available to our quilters.
So the deal we have available for the AQS quilters is 15% off fabrics and notions and quilt kits on our website, which is sewing.net.
Awesome. Okay. And so since we've been missing seeing you at the quilt shows, why don't you give us a quick tour of your store?
So Tamara, I'm here at the front of our store. We're located in Maitland, Florida, which is just about 8 miles north of Orlando, and Christmas is here. We are all set up for the Christmas season. If you'll see over to my right, we have a huge country gnome take me home quilt. You'll find quilts on display all throughout our store to inspire quilters. Let's take a look. Over here, you'll see we sell Baby Lock, Brother, and Juki machines. We also have sewing notions all down the length of our store. There's currently really wonderful specials going on the Baby Lock and Brother machines, lots of rebates. Over here, you'll see all of our Christmas cottons, our front counter, lots of beautiful things. Further beyond these machines, we sell AccuQuilt products. We have a whole display of Sally Tomato purse patterns and hardware. We also sell a lot of sewing cabinets. As we start to wander through the aisles, you'll see different collections. This is the Create collection by Quiet Play, a beautiful bright collection of quilting cottons. We have more Christmas fabric. We carry the Tilda collection. To my left, you'll see our pre-cut station. This is where you'll find lots of fat quarters and jelly rolls and 10-inch layer cakes. And rows of novelty print cottons. Let's go this way so I can show you the back of our store. To my left, we have rows and rows of threads, all different brands, Metler, Omni, Gutermann, Isacord, you name it, we have it, Floriani. This is our Funky Friends factory station. We love the Funky Friends brand of patterns, and you'll see all sorts of stuffed animals on display. All of these patterns are available on sewing.net. As we cross through this doorway, we come into the fashion fabrics department and also more quilting cottons. Right here you'll see our Rifle Paper Company display of fabrics and samples. This is a local fabric designer. Once again, sample after sample hanging to inspire you. We carry beautiful linens, we carry beautiful jerseys, silks, satins, lace. Here's a sample we made with the AccuQuilt leaf dye. Rows and rows and rows of fun prints. Batiks, solid fabrics, our sale bin. Our store has been here 41 years, and hopefully you see why. If you sew, you must go.
So Kelsey, why don't you tell us about the special trunk show that you have available right now?
I am so excited that we have Cheryl Lynch's Mosaic Masterpiece Quilt Trunk Show on display with us right now. And these are her quilts that were magazine covers. They feature her Mosaic Masterpiece collection that she came out with Hoffman Fabrics. So at first glance, you may think all of those little tiles are little pieces of fabric, but she has made it easy for us. She's come out with a whole mosaic look line from Hoffman Fabrics. So let me just show you. All of those little tiny squares are actually on a 44-inch wide piece of fabric. Got to show the turquoise as well. So all of a sudden, this quilt that looks daunting is not so daunting anymore. So we actually made quilt kits. The Dragonfly comes in a large size and a small size. This one is called the South of France. It's 36 inches by 48 inches, and it is stunning. Cheryl Lynch is the pattern designer as well as the fabric designer. Here's the Dragonfly Mosaic Masterpiece. The little one is 25 inches by 20 inches. Aren't they gorgeous?
They are stunning.
This one is called Queen Bee, and it's 36 inches by 48 inches. Can you see it all?
So fun.
The Queen Bee comes in a small size as well, like the Dragonfly. I just don't have it on display. And then the last one is a mandala. We cut kits that include the pattern and all the individual pieces to make the front of the quilt. And all you need is batting, backing, and some sort of paper-backed fusible web because there is applique in there. So very special quilts. We're super excited that we have them on display this week.
Wonderful. And I love all the colorways that
Yes.
you could do those. So that's beautiful. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Quilters, I hope you take advantage. Kelsey, remind us of the website and the coupon code that they can use to get their 15% off.
Right. Our website is www.sewing.net, and the exclusive code for you is AQS15. You'll want to type that in the coupon code bar, and that will be applicable off of fabrics, notions, and these gorgeous quilt kits.
Kelsey, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us. Quilters, I hope you've enjoyed this. And our next guest today is Julie from Off the Wall Quilt. Hi, Julie, how are you?
Hi, Tamara, good to see you. I'm great. How are you doing?
Well, good. But would love to be in person and see you at a quilt show, but this is the next best thing.
You'll have to do for now.
Absolutely. So tell us, you've got a great deal going, the great promotion on the vendor special offers. Tell us more about that and show us the products.
Well, I'm glad to have a few minutes to show you because it's actually 7 items, but they're personalized rulers. So you can get your name or message put on a ruler of your choice. So lots of fun there. You can get creative. Let me switch cameras and show you some of these rulers a little bit closer up. So this is what we have a little fun with. That my name, Julie, is on some of these. And if you don't know anybody named Julie, we can do any name. All right? So I did have somebody try to buy my rulers this weekend because her name was Julie. That was fun. So this is a 12.5. This is a very popular size, so we use this one. It's fun because it fits on my new 18-inch rotating cutting mat, and I can square up my 12.5 rulers. But beyond that, I can put a saying or a name up here. This one says, warning, this ruler is programmed to burst into flame if it leaves the sewing room. So you can have a little fun with that. This is a thicker quilting ruler. That's what I showed you before. And that one has a nice rectangular edge and it has the curve. And then we have one more quilting ruler. This is by far our most popular ruler. And it's a 3 by 10 inch. And this one says, "You measure up, we're friends forever." So that would be a great gift for a friend, don't you think?
I do. So you have lots of suggestions if people don't have a clever phrase that they want to put on a gift?
Yeah, we have a different one on every ruler on our website, and people are welcome to copy or just modify what they see there, or contact me and I can help you figure out how to put something fun on. And my email is julie@offthewallquilt.com, so it's easy. This is a really fun one. This came from a customer of ours who said, please use it. It's 3 by 18. And this one says, "Property of the crazy sewing lady. Don't touch my ruler." So she was a lot of fun. This is our 4 by 8 inch regular cutting ruler. And this one says, "This ruler was stolen from Julie's sewing room." So that's a fun one for the fam. And then this one, this came about having 2 sizes because our customers, some of them tell us they have to have a 6-inch ruler and some tell us they have to have a 6.5-inch ruler. So it's Rick facing off with Julie and we'll see who wins, who sells the most, right?
Yeah.
This is also a good example of if you just put a name, how big the font can be. And the more that you put on there, of course, the smaller you know, the font is going to be, but you can choose. This is what we call a Cavallini font, and that's a Arial font, I believe. And you can choose which font. You can suggest another one if we have it, we can use it. And of course, this is everybody's 6 by 24 standard. This one is fun. We actually took our laser cutter to the last show that we did. And so we quickly etched this one. It says, "Are you touching my ruler?" And we put it on top of the little laser cutter that we use. And people would come by and they'd pick it up and look at it and they'd drop it. So if you're having a little trouble with somebody touching your rulers, this might be the one for you. Isn't that fun?
That is so fun. I miss your fun antics at the show. And then don't you have a special gift for people as well when they purchase?
I do, and this is only for people that order through this, okay? So first of all, this is a new ornament that we're coming out with. It's a vintage machine that says 2020, and that will be for sale on our website. It's 4 by 4. But if you write AQS in the notes, okay, when you go to checkout, there's a little box for note, and write AQS in it with each ruler that you order. So something special. We're not planning on selling these at all, just for the AQS members that write AQS in the note box.
Sounds great. Well, Julie, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us and showing us your fun rulers. And what is the mat again, the rotating mat? Is there a special name for that you were showing us?
If you just go to our website and type in mat, it'll come up. And it's really cool. It's not just the inch. There's also a little baby one. I call it a 7-inch mat that goes with it. So you get the set of 2 for $79.99. It's a great price. It's a great deal. And they're very high quality mats. I'm loving mine. I use it all the time.
Well, Julie, thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us today. Quilters, be sure to go to quiltweek.com and check out our vendor special offers and see Julie's offer there, or you can go directly to our website at offthewallquilt.com. And our next guest today is Bernadette from WonderFil Specialty Threads. Hello, Bernadette.
Hello, Tamara. How are you? It's been such a long time. I haven't seen you.
Well, we sure miss seeing you and the full crew there and all your beautiful booth and all the colors and wonderful project ideas. Well, let's jump right into it and talk about your vendor special offer promotion. So tell us about your deal.
Our little vendor special today is you get this really wonderful little catalog, and you get a rinse and gone and an iron infused that I'm going to talk about today, and a nice little calendar. There's a whole hints and tips, so if you spend $50 or more, you get free shipping and you get this great little gift. So here's the little calendar, and it has some really pretty thread photos, and then some nice area for you to write all those little quilty things you're going to do, or stitchy things. Okay, so today I'm going to talk about rinse and gone and iron infuse, and I'm first going to show you just a really quick easy way to do applique, and then I'm going to show you a couple of little projects that I used it with that I thought was really fun. So I have 4 little hearts here, and applique is kind of it's kind of a difficult thing sometimes to do, and you know, needle turn especially. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your rinse and gone thread and just a regular thread, your deco bob, which is what we use, our 80 weight thread, or confetti or something like that. And you're going to stitch around 1/4 inch in your heart. Okay, so you just can use a piece of muslin on the back. You can use a piece of fabric that you don't want to use anymore. You can use a dryer sheet, anything like that. Okay, so first you're just going to stitch around your heart and just use a regular stitch length, you know, a 2.5, a 2, something like that. The next thing I wanted to show you is that you take that heart, and what you're going to do is you're just going to slice the back. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to turn your heart, and I'll just quickly do this, inside out, and then make it look really pretty. So it looks like this. And then you're going to go, now what am I going to do? So the fun part is you take this, here's my little spritzer bottle. I'm going to move my thread out of the way. And you really are going to spritz down the side of your fabric. Get it quite wet. And then what you're going to see what happens is you let that sit for a while. Let's see. You know, I'm getting old and sometimes I can't see. And then what you can do is you can see how you're going to pull that apart, because the rinse away thread is just going to pull apart from your, so you have your heart left. Okay. So then you're going to have a heart just like this. And this is your back. Okay. So your back is, you can take that aside, and here's your heart. And so the next fun thing that you get to do, I'm going to have to see if I can show you how to do this on the ironing board. So now you're going to take the iron infused thread, and you're going to put this in your bobbin. So you can wind this really easily into your bobbin, and just a top thread like before, deco bob or confetti, 50 weight cotton, something like that. And because it was already folded over, you're just going to stitch down with the iron infuse in the back. Okay, and then you're going to take your background fabric, and then now I'm just going to quickly iron here, maybe but just make sure that you get, and this is a repositionable thread. So say I get it in the wrong spot, I can just lift up my heart and move it somewhere else.
Quick question, Bernadette, while you're ironing that down. So the technique that you described will be, this is a machine stitch, correct?
Correct.
So I'd have the iron infuse or the rinse away thread in my bobbin as I'm doing this technique?
Well, I use the rinse and gone as a top thread when I made the hearts.
Okay.
So you just can stitch with it. So you put it, so the rinse and gone is on the top, your bobbin thread is on the bottom, because it doesn't really matter here, because all I want is that seam to come apart once I've turned my little heart. I just want that seam, you can see here as I'm waiting, the it's coming apart here. And then you have that nice edge. So you have that needle turn look for your applique. So you have this really nice folded edge, and you don't have to use starch. You don't have to poke it around a heart. It's already there for you. So you just take off the back, and then you end up with this little heart, and you can just iron that right down with your iron and the iron and fuse. And once that's fused down, you can take that top thread off, and then you can use any kind of decorative stitch to applique that down with. Or you can use a hand stitch, and then once it's ironed on really well, that top thread will come off. So that's done. There's a couple of other things I want you to see, like even that stitch line. This is the rinse and gone. And you can probably already see how that thread is disappearing on you. So then you can just pull it away on the back. So I'm going to show you a big quilt that is hand quilted. So for those hand quilters that want to have their quilt basted but not use pins and not use thread that they're going to have to move out after, you can just do, and I'll quickly show you this. Here. So this is a nice big applique quilt, and all we did was do lines with big basting stitch. You can do it on a long arm, or you could do it on your machine. You can also do it by hand. And then after, all you have to do is spritz that with your little spray bottle here, and the thread will go away, and you don't have to trim and clip and cut and worry about cutting your beautiful applique and your hand stitching. The other thing that is great that I wanted to touch upon here is I use the iron and fuse a ton when I'm doing binding. Okay, so you're going to sew your binding down, and there's two ways you can use this. You can do it as a zigzag stitch, so you want it fairly close so that when your binding comes over, you can just tap that and fuse that down, and then you can top stitch it with your thread, and you know it's going to be perfectly in place, and you don't have to use pins or clips that, I don't know, for me, when I'm sewing, it tends to move my fabric, and then I don't have it perfect. So that's another way. So you can do this with a serger in the lower looper, or you can use it as a zigzag stitch with the iron infused in your bobbin.
Wow, what an amazing line of thread. And thank you so much for all of those tips. Now, you said that we could go and watch videos on YouTube. What is that channel that they would get these different tips and tricks?
Our YouTube channel is WonderFil Specialty Threads. And if you go in there, you can get a video on just using the iron infuse, just using the rinse and gone, and it'll give you 7 different ways of using this thread, plus all of our other threads.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for visiting with us for a few minutes. Quilters, I hope you'll take advantage of their vendor special offer promotion and get some free samples for yourself to try all of these wonderful techniques. And there's that free pack.
Try it out. And the calendar, it's awesome. Thank you for inviting me to come on. It was fun. It was fun to see you. And I'm missing all my peeps out there.
I know.
All my make and take girls and stuff. So
right? I love sneaking in and getting a make and take and sitting down and doing that at the show. It's wonderful. Thanks so much for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed seeing the wonderful fabrics at the Sewing Studio Fabric Superstore, the creative rulers personalized for you from Off the Wall Quilts, and the wonderful thread techniques and options with all the WonderFil specialty threads. Thanks again for joining us. Be sure to tune in next time for the AQS Vendors and Deals Show, and check out all of our promotions at quiltweek.com.